Cameroonian Foundation,
Mm.
and he brought those guys together. So the whole Nigeria online space is talking about it, saying that despite the rift between them, only Tony Elumelu can succeed to bring them together. So I was just thinking too, like, if we really have those, if we had any grand frère or a financial grand frère, it can make some of these our own guys to sing together or be on the same stage if need be.
Oh, okay. What up, guys? Welcome back to an episode of Contrast Podcast.
Yeah.
And we're live. Do you know we're live?
Okay.
Yeah, we are live. So, what up? Welcome to an episode of Contrast Podcast. Happy Christmas in arrears. Happy New Year in advance. So, how was your Christmas? I know we've already jumped into the topic. We were just trying to have some breakdowns, okay? Guys, don't mind. We'll get into the topic. We have a lot to talk about today. Fhish versus Bonte.
That's how life discussions go.
Yeah. I'm calling Fhish versus Bonte, even though we are going to glance through, just have a small catch up on the Fhish issue, because it's like we've said a lot about him, and we still have
boiling.
to say, yes, still boiling, still hot, but we understand the emotions. Like, emotions are still high now, so people are still angry.
Yep.
Some people are still trying to process it. It's still fresh in everybody's mind. So we have that. We have CY and Bonte. Okay. We have Tony and Lumelo, if that's his name, with Burna Boy and Whiskey.
Yep.
Yeah, we have those things to talk about.
Yeah.
So, yeah, what's up? How was the Christmas? How did you celebrate the Christmas? How did it go?
Well, for me, I'm not really much of a Christmas guy, so
Yeah,
I
New Year
don't,
guy.
not like I have any particular reason why. Actually, I was not, no, but we're actually celebrating somehow, because even though we are not like Christians, we grew up in a Christian environment, everybody's just celebrating Christmas and all of that.
Yeah.
But personally, I don't do birthdays, I don't do Christmas, I don't do Born House, I don't do Die House. I just feel like
You don't do
the
wake
true
keepings.
essence of those things is not in the. You saying?
You don't do wake keeping.
Yeah. So the true essence of those things is not in the. How can I call it? No, you mean like, because when you call it wake keeping is different from Die House, though.
I've not heard of. To be very honest, this is the first time I'm hearing the word Die House. I know of Born House. I don't know about Die House.
So maybe I should have done
I
this.
think this is the first time.
No, maybe when I use the word Born House, some people might say, is it what baby showers? But baby shower is not Born House.
Yep. Wait.
Yeah.
Baby shower is not Born House. Yeah, true.
Yeah. So I don't know the English word to use for that. In Europe, I never saw Born House. That celebration for when the child is born, I never saw that one.
Yeah, it's
the way
Born
they
House.
celebrate is different. Maybe is before the child is born, like gifts.
No,
and
in Cameroon it's Born
like
House.
some light refreshment.
Yeah.
No, it's not the same.
No, listen.
So that's why I don't know the word
past,
to call for Die House.
No.
Yeah.
In Cameroon, right? Growing up, I know it's like you and I, we come from the same era, like age bracket, right? When we were growing up, there was nothing like baby shower in Cameroon.
Yeah.
There was Born House. We knew of baby shower when we moved out of Cameroon and we started watching all these Western movies and getting influenced by them. That's when baby shower started playing.
But people are started doing baby shower here, though.
Of course, that's why I said influenced by them. That's when all these things start coming to play. That's why we do all these things like Cameroon. They do it in Cameroon. But it never, normally in those days, like in the days of our moms, our dads, they don't usually do that. They do Born House, where they do all these celebrations and they say, "Pa, dance, show me how you put Pekin. Mommy, dance." Like all these celebrations.
Exactly. That's so,
You know, I enjoy that one more than this baby shower thing. You know, it's fun. And that's Cameroon, that's Africa, that's our culture.
Because when you said wake keep, I said yes, wake keep. Then I thought about it, I was like, wake keep is not really the die house I'm talking about. Like here they still do wake keep without cups, but it's still the die house.
No.
So wake keep is that thing where they sit and mourn the person. It's not the celebration of his life.
No, die house is after burial. What do they call that? When guys sit, drink, and eat.
Exactly. What's that called? Yeah, so that's not wake keep though.
That's funeral or memorial, something like that.
I don't know. That's
it's
why
anyway,
we just digress because when you use wake keep, I said wake keep. Then I thought about it again and I was like,
it's funeral celebration. That's
maybe.
It.
Yeah, maybe funeral celebration. Those two words can better describe it.
I've heard it. Yeah. No, I've heard it used that way before. I've heard it used that way before. Funeral celebration. I've heard it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, maybe, yeah. So, for me to stay true to the feeling, I would rather just use born house, house, in quotes. For those who know, they know that feeling. Because I feel like at times these Western terms water down the effect of what I'm talking about here. So, the house, born house, birthday parties, Christmas, all of these things. I just feel like they lost their real meaning over time. Yeah. And the older I got, don't get me wrong, growing up, we did those things. We used to cook crazy in our house during these periods, these kind of things, birthday parties. But the older I got, I was questioning the true meaning of those things, and it really did not really add up to me like that. But that's just me, though.
No, so to me, born house makes sense. It's wake keeping that doesn't make sense to me. Born house makes sense. You're celebrating a new person coming to the world. You're celebrating a new member to the family. You're celebrating a new life that the two of you came together and produced somebody, a new life. You're celebrating. It's like achieving something. I understand born house. That's understandable celebration.
I agree with you everything you have said.
Yeah.
But my own philosophy in life. So I agree with you. Nothing to disagree. My own philosophy in life is, if I have any of that extra money for that on house or for that celebration, can I put it on the trust fund and then put it on an account so that child can use that money to settle down in life later on?
La vie de l'homme noir. Okay.
Yes, so I have no problem with those celebrating it. Don't get it wrong. But I'm just saying for me, where I stand right now and the way I look at life and the way I think. So going back to the period as you said. So most of the time I'm just trying, during this period, I'm trying to round up a couple of things I'm doing. Like today, I just went with the technician to a certain site. I want to build a couple of sets for some talks. I want to go intensive on my content creation and some other things. And some of my agriculture things, I'm trying to restructure them and things. So it's intense, but I'm trying to round up things. Just going by the calendar, it does not necessarily mean that I don't reflect within the year. But just this period is just like, okay, many things come to an end. Budget, planning meetings, work-related, family-related, number of things come to an end during this period. So it's only right for you to evaluate things during this period too, and then re-strategize or whatever. That's the word, or we plan around it. So, but on the day itself, the day proper, what I usually do is I just go and play basketball. So we have these veteran clubs here. I just go and play basketball. We sit around, always have food and drinks. We make a lot of noise, and then I come back home and I sleep. That's it for me. Like for the last 3 or 4 years out here, that's what I do on the 25th and even on the 1st. That's what I'll do because I feel like, I'll celebrate milestones of achievements and specific amounts in my account. But I celebrate every day. I thank God or the univerce or
the creator. Oh, you're one of those.
I'm grateful and there's a gratitude for every day thing that comes to me. But I don't feel like it's a particular day that I have to celebrate my existence or be grateful for that existence. And even when you come to think of it, should I call it the hypocrisy around the whole thing? I mean, like now there's a whole term of Dirty December, and I'm like, what? December was supposed to be the most You're not heard of the term Dirty December?
No, I haven't.
Just look it up. It's everywhere in the West, and now it's in Cameroon too. People do the craziest things in December's. That they are the kind of parties, the hookups, and the things that are done in December. The vacation plan.
Really?
Around December. So they say Dirty December is for crazy things to happen. Is that expression now? So when you see the crazy things that happen around the December, it's not a day. They just describe the whole of this period. You know, like, okay, for us, when they say Dirty December, the bushwallers are coming, people's girlfriends will be seized, marriages will break up because of all of those things. Girls will get into trouble because they want to afford the best clothes during the Christmas and New Year period. Wise men or wise guys who want to give gifts during this period will just create trouble with their girlfriend and break up. So that all of these turbulent things happening during this period. So you just call it Dirty December. It describes all of those things that are happening during the December period.
To be honest, it's the first time I'm hearing that word, hearing of that phrase.
Okay.
Yeah, this is the first time. Yeah, but
I
explaining all those things, I understand why.
But you know, most of the time, once I start hearing things a lot in Nigeria, you know, that's already existing in some of our trendsetter circles. Yeah. So I was hearing it a lot used in the West, then in Nigeria, then you know, some of their talk shows and some of their podcast things, the word was used a lot. So
now it's in Cameroon, as usual. Now it's in Cameroon, yeah. Because when it gets to Nigeria, Cameroonians will easily just pick it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's just funny to me how some people still try to justify the holiday from a religious backing, but these same people still manage to do all of these things during this same period. Who are we fooling? Who are we deceiving? Yeah. So that's it for me though. It's just basketball and then just chilling, trying to round up my things and planning for the next
me too.
Calendar year. Yeah.
Planning on some things and a prospect. I think I'm working with somebody I feel like it's a new prospect.
Cool.
Yeah. Not the guys I've talked about here before, but the guy is a Cameroonian. And
not the South African thing too?
That one is already there, but this guy too is
it's new. Okay.
Yeah, I'm talking with his manager now. I've mentioned his name here before, but yeah, I want to talk with his manager for us too.
Cool.
I think
that's it for me.
Nevertheless, we'll talk about that, like the concept, the whole idea, and why I think he's the best choice to actually do that now. Okay, so let's move into that. We saw fans or people accusing Biggie, or somebody came up and said, I don't know who said it, that Biggie did not pay Fhish all the money they were supposed to pay. And the screenshot I even saw Biggie posting, that was just 6M. It wasn't up to 12. That was 6M, right? Or am I wrong?
Yeah, but they explained, but you know that just is wording, and I think I've even said that before.
Yeah, it's formality.
The price will be this, but the cash price will be this. But there's an official press release they put out. I think I sent it.
Yeah, I saw the press release attached to that screenshot. Like they were trying to justify why the money is 6 million and where the rest will come from and how the rest was compensated for. Right?
Yeah.
The liquid cash was 6M.
But that's what when they said the price will be this, they did not specify if it's cash or it's in kind or is in.
Okay, but the point is, listen, the reason I said he's not around to clarify it is because. Just read it if you want to read it. Just then I'll see what I have to say.
Yeah, let me just read what they put out. One greetings to you all. Words fall short of expressing my sorrow for the loss of Fhish and his manager. Remember that they are gone from our sight, but never from our hearts. I'm here to address the rumors going around about Fhish Leslie's prize award. The total winning prize for Biggie Studios this year was 50 million worth. That's what they kept on pushing out, 50 million worth. They did not say how the 50 million broken out. Then they said first prize 12 million worth, cash and gifts in bracket. Second prize 2 million, and third prize 1 million. Fhish won the first prize, 12 million worth of cash and gifts, and was broken down as follows. Cash paid to Fhish, 6.5 million. Car, 3.5 million. Dubai trip, 2 million. That gives a total of 12 million worth.
All right. But all right. Yeah. Okay. I have a lot. I know
There's
when
nothing
you see me talking like this, it means I have some bombshells I want to drop, but I just feel like it's not appropriate to drop it now. It's for me, it's just not the right time for me to say it. But anyway,
But I
since
don't.
the
I
Dubai,
just feel like people are all over the place now.
yeah, but what you just read, right?
I
Let me
don't
finish with
see what
that.
this
Then
has to do with.
no, let me just finish like what you just read, right? Okay, since the 3M
Yeah.
is still left, they can just send it to his baby moms to take care of his daughter with. Since you will not be here to forfeit that part of the trip, they should
No,
just make it
2M,
monetary.
2M. Yes, they said 2M. 2M was for the trip.
Okay, they should just give it to his family, to his baby moms. Because right now he can't be here to go for the trip and they have to pay for the trip or sponsor the trip, right? Or maybe they have a sponsor that want to take care of that part of the trip, right? They can leverage some other
Yeah,
asset
but
or
you know
some
those
other
things.
activities and
If you have been involved in the organization of these kind of things, at times the cash is not there. You have somebody out there who might be a sponsor, is a friend. That's why I said some of these things.
that's understand this.
When
That's why I
somebody
say if you have
says,
somebody
yeah,
if you have somebody who wants to take care of that trip thing because the money is not there, who is a friend or a sponsor and is offering a trip, right? He's not offering cash, maybe offering a trip. Yeah. That person may be offering that trip because it's a business. That's one form of endorsement. That's one form of support. And that person is engaging in a business transaction, right? So they're engaging into that business transaction with Biggie, right? So in engaging in that transaction is advertising because I know those guys who will be doing that are these guys who have these traveling agencies that help people travel. So using that service to make Fhish travel is also like putting the name of that traveling agency out there. It's our business. We've been in this thing. We've seen it how it works. Like, yeah. So now that Fhish is not around, okay, to take part in the trip and will not be able, right, to fulfill, because this is a whole business transaction. These guys, Biggie had a, let's just say, a business deal with this company that when Fhish win, they'll use a popular guy, the name, the fan base or the limelight this guy has to expose the company, and the company, all the company has to do is sponsor the trip. So what the most intricate part of that whole deal is missing, which is the like the asset, which is Fhish, to market, or the merchandise to market their brand. Okay, he's missing. But during the contract signing of Biggie, the winner was promised that amount, right? So now that he's not there to fulfill that obligation for Biggie to promote that company, that is not the company is not obliged to give Biggie the money again, or is not obliged to pay for that trip since Fhish will not be around. But Biggie promised the winner of that show that amount, right? So Biggie is supposed to compensate that amount, then look for a way to deal with the guys who be supposed to sponsor that trip. That's how business work. That's how endorsement deals work.
So no, but we are being honest. Maybe Biggie does not have that money.
I know that we are being I understand that if we are being honest, maybe Biggie does not have that money. But we are talking
Biggie
about
what Biggie had was a 6.5 they have given.
Yeah.
Now to say that they should look for a 2 million to give. If they have it, I'm just saying, I don't know. But if they don't have it, I don't think we can hold them responsible to make sure you give that 2 million.
It's not like we can hold them.
What you promised.
No, it's not like we can hold them to give it. Okay? It's almost like you sign a contract to do something. Then, okay, it's like a footballer, right? You sign an endorsement deal with, you sign a 10-year contract with a team. And that team has sponsors. Maybe it can be Fly Emirates or Coq Sportif, or let's just say Pepsi or Puma, Nike, shit. And they sign Cristiano Ronaldo, you know what, for this amount of money for 1 year in this club, right? He get into that club and he has an injury and he cannot play. Cristiano cannot play to advertise the jersey carrying that Coq Sportif or that Fly Emirates for them to make their money, or for them to sell their merchandise and sell all those things. But he signed a contract for a year. So him being in that team for a year, that the club will have to pay him that money while looking for a way to subsidize his absence to market Fly Emirates.
I feel like that can work, but in this case, this might not work.
I understand that it might not. No, I'm just being. Listen, I'm not saying they should do it, but being us in Cameroon. Yeah, it's a good gesture.
Yeah, it's a good gesture for the.
It's not like a good gesture. Logically, like business. If we are talking business, that is how it's supposed to be. But now we are talking about Cameroon. It's not. It cannot be possible.
Yeah. Okay, maybe let's put it that way.
If you are talking business, because on the contract, that's what was on the contract. Even the flyers, the posters, that amount, the sum that amount is supposed to leave Biggie to the winner. That amount is supposed to be transferred, be it cash, be it in services, be it in all those things. It was supposed to be transferred from Biggie to that guy. That's what was advertised. That's what was on the contract.
No, but if you want to, like, for me, if you want to say that's what, one will not see the exact contract which was signed by all of these winners. There's a publicity which Biggie is putting out there. Then there's what they signed with everybody before you get to the house, which might have more details which we are not aware of, and which might have legal things which kind of coins the word in Biggie's favor. Two, if you want to really insist like, okay, you promise this, they'll be like, okay, send somebody to come and travel and get all the benefits of the travel. But the cash itself is not there.
Okay, yeah, they should send his wife and kid to Dubai. Then they should just send his wife and kid to Dubai. Then
I feel like that might be an easier competition than to ask them for money. They might have it, and depend. Like if you mentioned the case of like Real Madrid, when somebody has 100 million, you can just be like, okay, man, just have pity on these people and give them 2 million. But somebody who maybe they had the 10 million and they took half of their 10 million to invest in a business, you don't even know if that business was very profitable for them like that. Asking for them to take another 2 and add, when that was not their plan, it might be tricky. But if they have the money, we don't know how their finance situation is. It might be good, just to give something.
Okay, since the world is run by a capitalist system, right? I see them also doing these
flyers to do like some memorial thing. I see some numbers still going around for some fundraising thing.
Yeah, I saw the memorial thing, and I was like,
can be very support the family, good and fine, but
okay.
Situations at times, I don't want to think about it because even when money is being raised, it really help the child.
Listen, I understand why even the memorial thing they are doing, okay? I don't know if his baby moms, and I believe his baby moms had access to his WhatsApp and his IG and his page, because I've talked to her through those pages before. You know, when Fhish is not around, or when Fhish talked to her through those pages before, like ask like a manager or something like that, even before this lady. So why? You know what? There's a lot going through. There's just a lot happening. But since the world is run by a capitalist system, right? Now that he's no more, and there's so much traction surrounding his name, and that's what would have happened. That's the same thing that happened when he won. At that point in time, they should have given him that trip, and the company that is sponsoring the trip should have had what they wanted. So now that he's gone, and that thing has also increased the impression, the search impression around his name, they can just say, okay, because of that, we are sending his family to Dubai for them to clear their head and all this thing. Is still walking through that line. It's a capitalist system. I know it's not fair. Coining it that way seems diabolic and seems like they are taking advantage of the whole situation to make a name or to advertise a business by fulfilling that thing.
It is what it is.
It is what it is. It's a capitalist system.
If there is a manager that can make the whole memorial thing to favor some, then they might easily cash in, and then hope. But my prayer is whatever comes out of it can really translate to this child's life. Because at times it's sad.
Listen, when I see all these things happening and all this, when I see all these things happening that has to do with his name, image, and finance, I just keep thinking of, okay, how can we convert that to his kid? You know, like related to his kid. Even when I saw the memorial thing, I was thinking like, okay, how can we make this to his kid?
Cameroon, you cannot really be too optimistic, but let's just hope.
Yeah. So, but
all these other reactions, I don't know.
Yeah. Okay, that's what I wanted to say.
Did you see your ATM guy's reaction?
Who?
I shared something. I think his name is your ATM.
Theo ATM. Let me read it on the group and see.
Where he was just blasting fans as fake people. They have pushed him to his death.
ATM records. You know what? This is something. It also falls under the same umbrella of the lady who was crying and released the voice note she sent to Fhish, and you've heard that, right?
Who is that? The Delhi lady?
Yeah, I think so. She went on live and was insulting everybody, insulting fans. The same thing. ATM is insulting fans. Yeah. Okay. This is what I can say about this. Fhish. At the time where he was about to make his biggest break, we lost him. Right. At the time where we felt like he got back the attention and the love from the public, we lost him. When he won Biggie, like Biggie really rallied so many people around him, made us like him for who he is. That's why the actions he took, most people never tried to change it. And even if when you try to talk him down or try to ask him, like I asked him, what's government? He said government is acting the way you want to act and let nobody tell you how to act. That's government mentality, and I respected that. I respect the way he wanted to do his things, wanted to do his life. Even when that lady sent him the voice note, he replied, and that's the way. The only thing you can just tell him is watch your step, but you cannot change him and you cannot tell him to do what he doesn't want to do. Okay,
exactly, man.
So
I mean, I have a couple of my go ahead.
Yeah, that all this being said, that will not take away from this lady pointing fingers at fans, ATM pointing finger at fans going at Biggie, conspiracy theories talking about, okay, Biggie don't get that guy, some people saying he has been attacked, like all these things going on. This is what I can tell you guys, okay, from somebody who has lost so many guys. Okay, most of these guys in the industry that get lost, some of them I know personally, some of them I'm in contact with them. Even my own personal life, I've lost people. When this whole thing is happening, is surrounded by one emotion, right? Everybody, okay, because the way Fhish died, everybody is looking for closure. They are looking for a final full stop, something that can put their mind to ease and say we blame this thing for him going. And if they can get a conclusion and something can say, okay, that is the person. That's why when people are killed and they take somebody to court, when somebody is sentenced, you see the family at least have some sort of peace of mind because they feel like somebody has been punished for what has happened to somebody they love. That's what ATM is doing, that's what that girl is doing, that's what the fans are doing, that's what everybody is doing now. Everybody is pointing fingers because they want closure, and that closure will come by somebody taking the fall for what happened to Fhish. None of those guys may have done it, but it comes with the emotion and the rage of us just being emotionally attached to his work or who he is or his personality. Everybody is looking for closure. That's why you see all these things flying around. And what I can just say
I feel like when it comes to all these metaphysical things, it's not, for me, I even find it funny.
Yeah.
When we come online, like I also shared one of a pastor. What's his name even? Is it pastor somebody? Is it Lawrence or somebody?
Yeah.
Who said there was a whole YouTube video where he posted where he said he told the Big Brother house to come and give him some drink and an envelope for him to cleanse, or some story like that.
Yeah.
And it just made me feel like it sounded so native doctor like, huh? You know, like that Nigeria film where the native doctor will be like, give the feather from a cock, then an envelope, then a hot drink. Yeah, it was just funny to me like that. Yeah. On the other side, I feel like social media has just made certain things so, how can I call it? En français, on dit que c'est banalisé. It's now vulgar. It's everywhere. I don't engage in certain levels of deep spiritual conversation online. I don't.
Yeah, me too.
Because I feel like certain conversations are just too surface where we cannot connect like that. If you recall, and that's some of the power, I just feel like at times I'm like, well, was there really nothing you could do to get to this guy? But I recall now, I just always remember I told you, like, remember when we discussed after the first accident, I told you, like, I really cannot get to him. But
yeah, but I can try.
I think you have spoken to him once or twice before. Yeah, if you can get to him and things like that. But I also
but
know
the truth is,
I have this kind of people around me. I know that you talk to him and he'll still not get there. I have about two other people around me where we had the same conversation and they were like, they sent him messages and he did not even open the messages till he died.
No, every time I write him, he replies. Every time I call, he picks up. But you can't force him or tell him to do things he doesn't want to do. Like all you can do is just to guide him.
So when I watched this lady's life, the Delhi lady, when I watched her life, I was somehow pissed. Like, why are you saying this? She was already offended.
Me
and
too.
then she was all over the place. But when I went to her page, and then listened to the audio where this lady was talking to Fhish, I actually felt like my eyes became watery. I felt tears in my eyes, and I was like, yeah, you really cannot help somebody if they don't want to be helped. Because I don't care, I don't know her. She might be a loud person, I don't know her in all the other contexts. But listening to that particular audio, she might have had other intentions behind the audio, I don't know. So when I listened to this first one, I was like, why is this girl so loud? She's all over the place. She was just insulting people, and I was like, why is she talking like this? I think what really sent me to her own life was I watched
She's hurt.
Tila
We
did
are
a
all
live.
hurt. Yeah.
Yeah. Tila made a live where Tila was going at this lady because this lady mentioned Tila's name in her live. So when I watched Tila's live, I came now to watch her live, and then she was all over the place, and I was like, this lady, she's just making noise. I was always
So
judging.
what did Tila say?
But when I went to her page and I listened to, I first saw the screenshot where she sent a 9 minutes, about a 10 minutes voice note to Fhish, and Fhish replied with like a 16-second thing.
Yeah.
And when I went to her page and then listened to what she said in that I don't know if I listened to what she said in the 9 minutes, man.
I haven't.
And that's why I just feel like some of these things, some of these discussions, let's talk
But
about
I've listened some parts
online.
of it. I've listened some parts of it where she said, and you, that attitude you get, so not be you. Like, and I know you. Me, I can't high or lie or you say you be.
Even her tone was very sober. At certain parts, she was even talking to Fhish like, now you call me Delhi. Before you used to call me mommy, this used to say this, but now you call me Delhi. That was on this other live. And on that live, I heard when Fhish called her Delhi, then at the end he said sister or grand something. Yeah, he said my sister or something like that. But when I listened to her tone in this audio on her page, where she was actually like begging him, let's just talk. Even if you cannot call, just send me a message, I will reply. Yeah, unless somebody can really show me beyond reason that she really has some other interest, there's no way I can fault her for being offended.
No, if you know Fhish growing up, right, then I understand why she did that, because she's trying to protect. She's trying to protect the person she knew.
Some other devilish thing she has done.
Yeah,
I understand her frustration and insulting everybody like this. After listening
that's
to
why I say even insulting everybody, thinking everybody is the reason for.
It's online. There might be some other schemes behind the scene.
That's why I'm saying, right? That's why I'm saying that. She's saying all these things, blaming the fans, that the fans pushed him to what he is, right? Pushed him to his death. Though. Understand this, right? The fans.
So, but Delhi B, you know, I've said something similar here, but not in those terms.
Yeah.
Where I was saying that somehow, but I always said that, okay, the people I really blame is the people who are close to you and around you. Mm-hmm. Because me, the guys who I've had around me, at the end of the day, we are going to quarrel, fight, and then split up before something like this happens to you. I'm not going to be around you and then something like this happens. It's not happening. So if I disagree, I'll make my point heard, we'll quarrel, you insult me, we'll go wherever I'm going. But if that's what I really think, there's no way I'll stand beside you and then watch this happen. So I always feel like, but the fans are far off there, but they feel that they're close in here. And they're also in your head, because now with social media, you are talking to fans that comment on your page and you're actually feeling like they're around you and they are people. When it's all said and done, when it gets rough, those fans don't even know where you live. They cannot even give you food. They are just loving you from afar. But when it's close, they will not love you that much. Yeah. So I usually just say it's the people around you that are really the problem, though. Fans are pushing you to eat all the fake hype and all of that. Mm-hmm. But there's nothing you can do about it. Fans will always be fans, man. So it's not like just Cameroonian fans everywhere in the world.
Exactly. So understand this. So when we already know that, okay? Saturn, what's up? Thank you. So when we already know that this is how it is, showbiz, when you become popular, you get all these fans, you get stands, you get all these things. We already know this, right? the way you interact with them, the way you let that influence affect you personally. Listen, I had almost 1 hour 30 minutes conversation with that guy. I'll upload the conversation, the live video, if anybody has watched it. We talked about all these things, the fans, the way he lives his life, the way he got into music, the way he viewed music, and he said he wouldn't advise anybody to jump into music because music is not lucrative. Like these conversations we always talk about here, we had all those conversations. All. Even he already know that, okay, fans say, when he said something like, for be artist for pay you, when people they don't even know, say you been an artist, the way they first see you, the kind of pressure they first put on for your skin. But me, man, like we had all those conversations. He actually said all those things. But being you, the way you view the world, the way you want to operate, okay, there are certain things which you pick from the world and feel like, okay, I need to use this. This is necessary now. This is not necessary now. This is not all this now. Though the world also influences you. Right, it influences you and influences the way you navigate the world, but you cannot say they have to be held accountable for every decision you take. You've already said it. He said it. Most Cameroon artists know that. Even celebrities around the world, they know that that's how the world is. That's how fans are. When you get to a certain level of fame or stardom, or you get into public, like when you become a public figure, you already know your life belongs to the guys who support you. Not like belong, it's infiltrated by the guys who support you. Okay. Nelson Z Comedy. How far? So we also have to take accountability for all these things. So at the end, I'm simply saying we are the fans. Those guys we are saying they pushed him to his death. Those guys are pointing fingers at Biggie, and they are pointing fingers at other things, drugs. These Biggies are pointing fingers at fans. That lady is pointing fingers at fans. Like everybody just points in everybody. What I'm saying is, all these people we are talking about, they may not be responsible for what happened. If it was supposed to happen, it had to happen. But it could have been, let's just say, prevented. Not just say prevented, but regulated. You know, when death is coming, it will come. There's no such thing as you can avoid death. There's a good example. If you've watched this movie, Final Destination, then you know you can't escape death. You can't. It gives you a good example of it.
It's not about escaping death.
So I'm just saying, everybody now is hurt, and we are all looking for closure. That's why we are pointing fingers. No, don't run towards it. That's it. But if you run towards it and you try to escape, you just know it will still catch up to you. That's what. If you're watching us right now, if you've seen Final Destination, you can tell me. You can tell these guys how it is. You can affirm in the comment section. But we are all hurt. But I just know with time we'll come to accept what has happened, the choices he made, because he took those decisions. He made those choices. Many people talked to him. He took those decisions. He made all those choices. We will come to accept what he gave us. Okay, the way he lived his life, the way he wanted to live his life, and accept the things he gave us and appreciate the things he gave us and the things he left us with. Right now, temperatures are high, emotions are high, everything is spiraling out of control because we want closure. That's why fingers are being pointed. People just take this emotional period to fire shots. Like, we all understand this whole thing happening right now. Time will make everybody settle with the things that matter. His art, his music, what he impacted, the things he gave us, and all these finger points in the world. When we accept and finally come to terms with everything that happened, we'll move forward. It has happened.
Anyway, yeah, for me, it was just, I've always said this around these things. People react the way they are reacting. It's just because it's happening online and we're talking about online things.
Because emotions
are high. I
don't
want to dwell on it. I just feel like, yeah, for me, let's learn. If I'm really pissed off, like immediately I saw this, I thought of one or two of my talented people who I felt like I let them like just find out yourself. I just reach and just say, hey, how far? What's up? I just try to speak to them, like, yeah, how you doing? How are things moving? I feel like that's what we should do. Those who are still alive and feel like they're talented, let's reach out and see how we can help.
Yeah, Saturn said, Saturn said,
done better and done more when he was alive.
Yeah.
So let's just turn to those who are alive and let's try to do better for them. That's the best payback and the best way we can fix this situation. Not blaming him.
Yeah, Schneider Saturn, he said, I know when it he said what? I know when it wants time to die. Yeah, okay, I know when it wants time to die, he will. But Fhish could have avoided that.
He will.
He chose. Yeah,
Fhish
he will.
Could avoid this.
Could avoid this, but he chose not to. Truly, he was a great talent.
Very true, man.
Yeah. Nelson also said, it's funny when I hear people blaming Fhish death on his lifestyle. That's just crazy. Listen, like I said, all these things we are talking about may have nothing to do with his death. We are just talking about these things now because emotions are high, everything is spiraling out of control, people want closure. Nobody is blaming his lifestyle. Even the lady is blaming his lifestyle. The ATM guy is blaming his lifestyle. Some people are blaming it on drugs. Some guys are blaming it on all these things. All these guys are trying to find somebody to hold accountable for his death. That's people looking for closure. That's what it is. Just because emotions are high. But I said with time, when everything is said and done, we will all accept the fact that he went through life the way he wanted to go through life and left us with what he left us with, which we appreciate. That's just it. When Tupac died, they kept saying he was gangbanging, he was beefing, he brought that to himself and all that. But as time moved on, they started thinking
all of
about
those
this.
Things it's just,
you understand? Yeah, but as time went on, they went back to what he left us, what he stood for, what his message was, the things he impacted onto us. You know, that's just it.
Yeah.
Even DMX, they kept calling him a crackhead, a drug addict, and all these things. They kept saying DMX is a drunk, he's a drug addict, he kept failing taxes and all these things. But when he died from those drugs, everybody put those things aside and look at what he left us with. That was the way he wanted to live his life. But while living his life, he gave us things which he wanted to put out to the world. The way the things he saw that were wrong in the world, like the messages he put in his song, like Padaman, like this snippet he has just released, like most of his songs, he started addressing things and talking about he had a way which he approached music, the way he wanted us to view music. That was what he wanted to give us.
I think he was also very engaged.
Yeah, people have quirks. Everybody have quirks. I have
quirks.
Listen to his lyrics. You have quirks. That's what I'm saying. Everybody has quirks. But when somebody dies, you cannot blame those quirks to his death, because that was who the person was. Even if you tell him to change it, you know, it will be difficult for somebody to change who they are. But emotions are high now. When everything settles down, we'll pick the things he left us with. That's his, and you know, bask in them. Because if presently right now I don't want to hear a Fhish song. When I'm playing music and the song comes on, I skip it, because it still feel weird listening to his songs now to me. So sometimes I always feel, how does when artists die, their songs start trending and everywhere people start playing it over and over? To me, it's opposite. I just don't want, if I'm emotionally attached or like the person or feel or in some kind of relationship, like if I view the person a certain way, it'll be difficult for me at that point in time to start listening to their music, to hear that voice play. But as time goes on, you know, I'll feel like I'll certainly need and say, man, I feel like listening, like, especially to me, mine was XXXTentacion. When he died, I stopped listening to his song, and after that I'll just say, man, I miss that song, Fuck Love. I'll go and listen to it. I miss that song. Like there are times in life when there are certain songs which you just want to listen and you just, okay, you play it. For now, I just feel like when I hear his song, or when I'm thank God I'm not in Cameroon, because you came here and you said everywhere they are playing Fhish songs. Because here, if I'm just watching YouTube and the next song is Fhish song, I'll just skip it. I don't. When everything has settled down and I feel like, okay, I want to listen to Njor, I'll just listen to Njor. But right now, listening to Njor, I'll just be like, man, I'm listening to Njor when I don't know when the next song will come out or the next song following Njor. But for now, I just need to accept that they gave us Njor is a classic. Patience is a classic. Those 2 songs are classics. You know, you can play them at any time. Fhish was a great investment. True. That's why you see me. That's why you see I'm talking the way I'm talking right now, because there were so many things we planned. You know, so many things we're supposed to work on. That's why I say, if you're any producer out there who has Fhish unfinished song, let's work and get a feature on it, A-list feature on it. I pay for the feature and all these things. Make the song complete. We compile his posthumous album. I still can't figure that word out, but an album after he's gone. And we license it to his family and put it out so the fans can get that album, maybe the closure the fans need. Because that's a project I know he was gearing towards releasing. That's one of the goals, because all of us have goals. We have things we want to achieve next year or years to come. That was the closest goal most people knew, and I knew, an album. But I don't know who he was recording with, but he just told me he's currently working on the album. And I know he doesn't work with one producer, because it's just his EP. He worked with App, he worked with DJ Kal, he worked with so many guys, worked with Pazzo. So I don't know. The producers he was working with, if you can listen to this, reach out. We see how we can pay for, if it is the mixing or for mastering or feature or something, we can cover it. And we just license that thing and put it out and give the fans and everybody who is talking closure. So that they can recall why they like Fhish. They didn't like Fhish because he painted his nails, because he did what he did, because they liked Fhish because Njor. They liked Fhish because of what the energy he brought, the messages in his songs. So if you drop this album without him being there, just that sound will make everybody realize why we like this guy.
Yeah.
Because his personality is in his music. That's why we like him. So we wanted to just slide past this thing, but it's like there were so many things we had to talk about Bonte. So guys, we all need closure, and with time we'll get it. If we don't get the album, with time we'll get the closure. So yeah, rest in peace. Okay, let's move to the Bonte part. Like Fhish was really a great talent or great investment. Okay, we've read that one. Okay, Fhish died going to a show. Okay, when Saturn say he could have avoided it now, does that make it sane? No, that's what I'm saying. Like you say, he could have avoided how? That's what I'm saying. You can't avoid death.
No, but let's not, because I know, like, I don't want to get into these things because we cannot say what will kill somebody and what will not.
That's what I'm saying.
Let's also deny the fact that speed might have been a factor. Under the influence might have been a factor. I'm using the keyword here, might. So
if you see the way the car was torn up,
because she was going for a show that he died.
If you see that the car was torn up, like
Impact, have been going for shows and they have not died. So for me, there are so many uncertainties about this thing, but blaming it just to say that how could he have avoided it when he was going for a show might not be also very accurate to describe the particular incident of what happened. Because when you see the way the car was torn up, speed might have been a factor, influence might have been a factor, tiredness might have been a factor. People are saying that he had been going back to various shows. Many things might have been a factor, but I just feel like we need to check all of these possible factors one after the other before it gets to the stage where you kill the person. When that's already happened, I really don't want to talk about it because one, you cannot say it was this or it was that or it was this or it was that. That's already happened. But before it happens, you can talk to person like, don't drive too fast.
Do you know how many years?
Don't drink before driving. Please don't attend here.
Do you know how many years? Do you know how many years they put DMX into therapy, Mac Miller into therapy, for them to stop drinking and stop doing drugs? But those things killed them. That's what I'm saying. Those guys had a personality. They had demons they were dealing with, and maybe those drugs were the way for them to mute those demons or to cancel out or to move forward with their day. Maybe all this. We don't know their personal life. But what they offered us, what they brought to us, what they decided to say, okay, this thing belonged to you guys, the fans, was the message they put in their music and the sound they gave us. But the personal demons they dealt with, they tried to deal with it, they kept it for themselves.
Yeah. Agape is saying we didn't get to see 5% of what he was made up. His unreleased songs should be released. Just me listening to the leak Rio dos Cameros, I can imagine how dope the album would be. Yeah. When I listened to the Rio dos Cameros too, that's why I said the guy was really engaged. But I don't know if it's just because he's gone now that the song has more value to me. But
no, Patience had value when it was alive. Njo had value when it was alive. So we are just simply saying.
I'm talking about, to me, the particular freestyle thing I just heard, the Rio dos Cameros, the part I heard. It felt like it was going to be a very dope song, that kind of longue privatize kind of song. That's how that Rio dos Cameros sounded to me. But it might just be also the emotion of losing him. So that's why I said I don't know. And maybe if we ever get to listen to the album, then we'll judge how heavy the album was to be. But still, there is that whole factor, as you said, of the loss. We are just grieving and we are like, maybe he would have been, who knows, maybe after this album, he would have gone into acting. Why do we feel like he was going to release too much more? Who knows? As I keep on saying, it's just the emotion and the unknown which is bothering us as humans. But at times, as I said, I just close the door. What has happened has happened. Let's fix those that are alive. Let's help those that are alive. That's the focus. Right now, I don't think we can help him. I don't think he needs any help from us right now. It's those who are alive. Maxi, his child, his family, those who are in similar situations around us. Yeah, I don't want to put energy too much on that.
Yeah. So, So if you guys know the producers who was working with, or if you producers you can hear this thing I'm talking about right now, hit me up on Instagram at DM or Facebook page. Then we can move from, I can send you my number and then you can call me directly, or WhatsApp. Then we can see how we put a final, like we make this chapter close, like put a close to this chapter. The finances needed to finish that project we made. I may see how I can assist with that, So that's just all I can say. But I just want us to stop dragging the whole scenario and the event.
Yeah.
I just want us to stop dragging it. Yeah. I just know everybody is hurt. Emotions are high. So it won't help anybody. It won't.
True, man. We move. God knows best. Well said, Aka Frederick. Yeah. So the next thing I want to discuss about is the constant, should I call it the tumultuous relationship between Cameroon and Nigeria. This time around, and as usual, we have the spokesman for the Cameroon side, our outstanding coach, Siwa International, ranting again for another issue with regards to comedians coming from Nigeria, comedians in Cameroon getting the back seat, not getting the same treatment.
Yeah,
I feel like we'll just keep talking about this thing till Cameroon is good. Because as long as Cameroonians are not good, they're just pissed off and blaming everybody else.
There's one thing I wanted to say. There's one thing I want to say. By this same time, let's just say 2023 or early 2023, right? The Cameroon media space will be controlled mostly by Cameroon music. From what I've seen and from what I'm experiencing and from the contribution I think I'll put and what you're doing with Echo, like from the trajectory I've seen, it's like a graph from what I've noticed. Let's just say maximum 2 years, or maybe as soon as the end of next year, you'll notice that Cameroon entertainment space will be dominated mostly by either you'll be a Bikusi song, this are Afro song, it will be a Cameroon, mostly Cameroon songs dominating. So it will now be up to us to actually monetize that attention and that traction we have. From what I've seen, you guys can quote me on this. Like in 2 years' time, if this doesn't happen, you guys say, okay, Delibi finally missed. I still haven't missed for almost 10 years, so I'm still waiting to miss. So in 2 years, okay, maximum. But you guys will start noticing by this time next year, most spaces in Cameroon, most big events in Cameroon will be dominated by songs from artists in Cameroon. We've been crying this support our own ever since, but when we say it, it's almost like telling a kid, don't touch that candle. The kid would want to touch it to see if it is hot. When we keep saying this, support your own, it pushes the fans away. But when we stay quiet and start releasing the music, gradually I've realized that the thing is catching on, and guys, the thing is opening up. That's what I've noticed. But when people come up again like Siwa and start talking about support your own artists, he's distracting the progress that is going on. He's just causing a distraction. Just let the thing have a natural growth, organic growth. It's happening. That's what I'm observing now.
No, but
the only thing we haven't figured out is the monetary part of it.
Quote, I don't know if it's Martin Luther who said it, who said the world will not perish or suffer, but I'm misquoting, I'm just saying what I'm just paraphrasing here. Not because of the lack of not because of the strength of the bad people, but because of the weakness or the inability of the good people to do enough. So I don't feel like what CY is doing, it has its own role to play. There are those who, it's like on the football field, somebody must defend the post, somebody will catch with their hand, somebody will pass the ball, somebody will score the goal. I just feel that everybody wants to be now on the blogger front communication place where not everybody should be communicating. Not everybody is a blogger. Not everybody should be talking and ranting. Some people should be working behind the scene. So I just feel like my own problem with those things is some of those I feel that have the ability, the intellectual know-how to be solving the problem behind the scene are also getting involved in the, how do I even call it, town crier job. But somebody needs to make the noise. Somebody needs to cry out, whoa, there's trouble. The fire, somebody's carrying water to put out the fire.
Yeah.
It's difficult to be shouting fire, and throwing water at the same time. But when everybody is standing around and shouting fire, nobody's throwing water or putting water or using something to quench the fire.
That's what I'm talking about.
That's where there's a problem. So I feel like what he's doing, it's okay, but he should not distract, or those who are supposed to be putting out the fire should not go and start quarreling with him. For me, let him just do what he does.
Because
those who are working behind the scenes should work. When results come, he's going to see the results, and then as usual, as a town crier, he's going to start crying now, but the success of the results. But in the meantime, the most obvious thing is we are being dominated by Nigeria, and that's true. So let him be crying out that one. But those who are the brains who should be working behind the scenes should work. So that when results come, like you said, when those songs are there, he's still going to, that's his job. He's going to shout again, hey, Cameroon is now too strong, 227 represent. He's going to do that. But in the meantime, you who is supposed to be using your brain to solve the problem should not go on Facebook. Now everybody's a journalist quarreling with him, exchanging tweets and tagging people left and right. That's the short-term race. The long-term race is behind the scenes.
Because if you compare this to 2019, there's a big change. If you can compare this to 2019. So I'm just saying, with the same growth rate, let's just say in 2 years again, it will be like everywhere will be Cameroon music. Most will consume more of Cameroon music than foreign music. But we still haven't figured out how to monetize it or how to make it a business. But for now, let's be satisfied with us having more placements in the country. And that's what we are going to achieve in.
There's work behind the scene. There is a discussion I was having with the blogger today. The discussion I had with the blogger today where he was saying, so he was talking about partly our discussion, and he was like, we're not saying the truth to artists and things. And I was like, everybody has their way of presenting things. I told him, like, come under the comment section, tell us that truth which you're talking about. He was talking about some real detailed things about the Jovi thing and the rest. And I was like, I am not in place. I don't have some of those facts. I'm not in place to talk about those. I just talk about what I see and what I know.
Yeah.
If you have those facts, put in the comment section. Soon we'll be start inviting people live and things like that.
Yeah.
Then we went out to the part that was saying there is money in the industry. We're putting out the ticket. I said, I don't think there's money in the entertainment industry. There's money in Cameroon, in the corporate sector, but it's not translated into. So it was like, there's money in the entertainment industry. How come they are giving millions to Nigerians? And I'm like, that's where you're getting it wrong. There's money in the corporate sector. There might be money in the brewery industry, but the money in the brewery industry goes to the Nigerian entertainment industry, not to the Cameroonian industry. You don't say there's money in the Cameroonian entertainment industry because the brewery industry has money. For the money to leave the brewery industry to the entertainment industry, we need to create that safe channel through which that money can translate. The Nigerians have built theirs. I'm just using an analogy of a safe channel, but there are many factors that come to play for us to have that safe channel. The Nigerians have built theirs. Our corporate money is going to channel into their entertainment industry. If the brains in our entertainment industry don't build that safe channel so that money can leave our corporate industry into the entertainment industry, we'll keep swapping and shouting. And as that lady said, the lady who was talking about, she categorically said it that she told Fhish, there is no money in entertainment. You just, entertainers just
Fhish
get
said
depressed.
it even before the lady wanted
Because
to start texting him and saying all those things. The live video I had with him, he said
but I'm just repeating I'm just emphasizing what she said.
Yeah.
That there's no money, and now the girls are forced to get into prostitution, the boys are forced to get into scamming because you need to keep up a certain hype, which you are not. It's a capitalist world. If the demand does not add up with the supply, or if the lifestyle is not adding up with the income coming in, then something else has to happen behind the scene. What do we expect? So I was just having that question with that blogger, and I was telling him like, so we can build that channel where money leaves the corporate into it, then we will say there is money. And we have enough money in our corporate that can
we have
make our entertainment industry thrive.
Listen, we have enough money.
And we have
in
a
the
very
corporate
rich culture that we can even export now to add value to it. But we are not doing the work to channel the money in.
Yeah, we have enough money in the corporate that we can foil the entertainment industry with, and we need we need to know how to organize this, the boss and the influence we'll be having, or the placements we have, to monetize it and to leverage it with legislative brands and all these things to make the money come in. But I'm just saying, with time we'll have the placement for. But right now, I just know behind the scenes, we are just trying to build structures. Like for me, I'm just trying to build a structure to mine the revenue when all those placements come into play. That's why I'm investing everything
so
you guys are seeing me invest in the industry, because I know I'm trying to build a structure for finance.
Aka Frederick just said, Aka Frederick said, I guess the artists, comedians, and we the fans are the ones to be throwing the water while he cries out. Very true. Everybody has their role to play. You as a fan, just go and be liking Cameroonian artist music. Make yourself an ambassador for Cameroonian music. Every party you go to, if you have any influence or every say, just ask, can I listen to this song? Can I listen to this song? That's you playing your own role. We don't expect you to go and raise money from your family in Zambia and come and give entertainment. No. But just those small steps help. Now you, the comedians, work on your jokes. Do better jokes. Brand yourself better. But I feel like they need to work on their jokes. Because I always tell people, like, nobody likes nonsense in my killer voice.
But to me, I mostly focus on the progress, though.
Your good, so people will demand it.
I mostly focus on the progress. I focus doing. Read it, and then we can proceed.
Nelson D said, CY is doing a great job. He has drawn people's attention to the problem that many people never saw it as a problem. True. That's right. You're right about that. And then Aka Frederick said, that's why we have platforms like Mollytown and Chakara TV. But Mollytown now is scarce, the take notes.
But I'm coming back.
People don't know the threats. People don't know the threats that Molly/Delibi received. He's trying to rebrand it and then maybe get more security so he can't.
No, I'll be back. I'm coming back. Don't worry. But I'm slowly coming back, though. Can't you guys see it? I'm posting these days. But mostly review. I mostly review music because that's what I'm passionate about. That's where. That's where.
But when he says that, we all know what he's talking about. There is a Mollytown that was really rocking the industry, which it's not yet there yet.
Yeah, that Molitown is coming.
Yeah, it was a Molitown that actually rocked. You know, like the beginning when many people were on YouTube, and then you find something on YouTube actually talking about the industry, everybody was like,
yeah, talking about the industry in a real way, because at that time, the way I usually talk about the industry, I talk about things which guys will be like, I don't know if you believe say don't talk at me, but I just say shut the fuck up.
No, plus you know, like we had all these YouTubers who were like girls who are out in the diaspora and have access to good internet. They don't really know the industry to the industry. So they were doing their own kind of online things,
Yeah.
But the difference we also, I felt like even before you left Cameroon, you were in the industry. While you left Cameroon, you're still in contact with the industry.
Yeah.
So your opinion, I mean, for the longest of time, I felt like you were somewhere in Moliko. I was even going around saying that you are maybe somewhere around Mali. I was so confused.
Somebody wrote me on Facebook.
Because the person was actually giving some crazy details, and you're like, this guy is somewhere around here.
Yeah, no, because I know all those places. I've lived in almost all the 10 regions in Cameroon. I've lived in Gaoundé, all these places, at least a year, like in all those places. So that's when I say, you know, this guy is stupid for me. Like, I call the place. Listen, like the person who modeled my way of doing YouTube when I started YouTube, they call him DJ Academics. Like that was the person who modeled the way I did YouTube. DJ Academics, that's his name.
Okay, I know it. Yeah.
That's how my YouTube.
Thing with what's that guy name? Joe Budden.
Yeah, he had it with Joe Budden, but it's no more. But that was the person who modeled my style of YouTube, and it was very interesting. And I saw I saw every day I post a video. I saw the explosion on Facebook. Like I was just like, But as I grew up, I realized that okay, these guys are planning to beat my ass. Like most of these guys, one guy came one day and contacted me on my Facebook page and saying, I said, oh boy, now we play with for Moliko. The Molitown we put us so you the name the thing say Molitown for Boya. You know there we play with. I said, bruh, I'm not in Boya. And Molitown doesn't even mean Moliko. Moli is money. Town means money town. For most guys who don't know, that's the meaning of Molitown, money town. It was all about, that was what I was talking about, endorsement deals, how to market your music, how to do all these things. I was trying to teach guys how to mine money from music. But when they fuck up, I insult them while giving them education. Like I slap you and then I tell you what you did was wrong. That was why the platform was what it was. Yeah, I was harsh. Like there's a way you give Cameroonians like advice. If you give them, like you try to talk to them like a reasonable person, fuck, you're throwing water on a dog's back. Like shit, they want to do anything with it, but when you tell them, shake them up, just, or you may even slap them to draw their attention, because when you slap them, they'll look at you and they want to fight you. When they want to fight you, at that time you have the attention, then you can tell them everything you want to tell them. That was the strategy, and that was the way I used on my channel. But as I got involved, to be very honest, it's not like I've repented or I grew up. Is that the responsibilities and so many tasks have made me not to, because at that point in time I always talk about everything that happened. Every endorsement I had the news first, everything I had the news first, everything. But maybe priorities shifted, like you know.
I mean, what Felix says that
what
the best part was when you always talk about my locks. I was like, if that dude catches you, you are dead.
No, me and my locks are cool. For you guys, I don't know, we are cool though, because he understands me and I understand him. I understand his character, the way he is. I'm a big Malok fan. I like his personality. Okay. I recall the time when he got beat up in the club by that girl with a stick. Molitown was booming at that time. At that point, every day I post a video in less than, let's just say, 4 hours. I have at least 20k views or 40k views. Especially during that Malok's period.
Yeah.
Before the channel almost went down. Before the channel went down. Like at that point in time, it was like everybody was waiting for Molitown to post, because they know I'm going to say some shit that will fix your day, even if your day was boring. I would say something that will fix your day and make you say, whoa, I don't believe the guy. Boko Gang, me and Boko Gang, we always fight. We always quarrel. Until I had one Boko Gang guy called me one day on WhatsApp. That was the first time I had something like a podcast where I talked with somebody recorded on. That was the first time. It was in Boko Gang. What happened that time, man? Yeah. I talked about Jovi a certain way, and Boko Gang guys were mad. And I put a number that you guys can call me on WhatsApp. They called. I'm talking. And I talked to the guys, and they said, you said, I understand to you talk. No, to you talk, it makes sense. But you say, you know, see, so you need for to slow down for the way you did. See, you have a hash the way you talk that to them. I said, when I first about this, when I try it, money hash, when I saw before, when I yes, and like I was off, like I was raw. That's why when I see CY doing these things now, I'm just like, yeah, I'm just like,
do you know, see there's a comedy part to it.
Yeah.
Like in the last 2 hours, Bonte has just been posting random things. So, first, I don't know if you watched the live.
Bonte's live.
So, no, CY went live saying that he was at the show, he bought VIP ticket, but just decided to go and sit with the other comedians. So he appreciated them first in the beginning, then he went in on them now saying they brought some Nigerian comedians or a TikTok comedian, something like that, and kept them in the hotel and they're having AC and then they bundled the Cameroonian comedians here, whatever, gave the ticket. So Bonte is just putting out one-liner post on his wall, responding to everything which CY said, but not talking about CY. So he just first came. First he said, like 3 hours ago, he said, we don't do show enter debt. I beg for the sake of support your own. Go fund me day up. Una momo before we go kata. So and that's something I've always said here. Like it's very easy to come and say that. That's why I feel like the Bontes and the NOBs have nothing to be discussed with CY. CY is saying what he's saying, very valid. But to the person who is doing the business side of things, your focus and your movement should be different. Like I tell you, like there's this saying I always say, the soldier has no business understanding the mindset of the general. The rationale from where the general is calling his shots is not the same rationale from where the soldier is going to fight and ready to die. The soldier is looking at battle, fighting and surviving and staying alive, while the general is looking at war and winning as an army. So you are looking from different perspectives, different angles, your risks are different, what you have at stake is different. So when you are even talking, you are not speaking the same language. So I feel like the Bontes and the NLBs who are putting money into the game, trying to build it, making mistakes, learning from the mistakes, have no debate with CY, who is on the forefront, talking about the quarreling with people about Cameroon. It's two different battles. So that's how I just appreciate those two guys.
Anyway, to me, was the show a success or did it fail? That's all I want to know.
I wasn't there. But first, most of our shows in Cameroon, I have had my fair share of being behind the scene. Even when it looks good in the eye of the public, those behind the scene most of the time will suffer some massive losses, man. So a couple of these things I've done them until I've pulled back and I'm looking at it now from a distance, and I'm planning again to get in. But each time I'm looking like, should I get on this angle or that angle? Is it safe to get in now? Because of the way the fire burnt me the first time, I'm always too skeptical.
Now hold on. When I come to Cameroon, right? And it's not too long, okay? Very soon. I'll just surprise anybody. I'll just surprise you guys. When I come to Cameroon, we'll organize something very not too huge, very small but very lucrative. Strategic planning, strategic something. That's how I like to work. Yeah, that's how I like to work. I don't like going large scale. If there's something large scale that I'm involved with, I'm not at the forefront like the Johnny Walker show. I just decide to come in, give my services, and I leave. I just render my services and I leave. I don't, and I get paid and I leave. But if it is something that I wish to organize,
So like his last 2 posts, he has just been like trolling. Yeah, he was like, that CYA camp event, one enter for free. If they no force you for buy ticket, up and down. Then he came again like 5 minutes ago. It was like that same CY wanted to pay to perform at the Bruce event, and we refused because he's not funny. Very unfunny comedian. Sabinus, over you today, tomorrow and after. So as I said, maybe the guy is just trolling CY now for the sake of it, but I feel like they should focus on what they are doing. They should learn from there. I respect those guys a lot though. They might be younger, they might be younger, I don't know.
But
I just feel like once you have been burnt by that thing, and the way how can I explain it? The way I was down, the way I felt defeated, the pain I felt after doing 1 or 2 things and having some losses, or people not turning up the way you planned, or artists not performing or showing up as you were thinking. You know, like it's just like me who came from out there, you have a whole bad boy concert kind of thing in mind, where you want people to come and turn up and everybody be on their A game, and you forget that this is Cameroon, man. Some people might not have that the transport fare to get there. Some people might forget about the event. I mean, crazy things happen like that. So some of these guys who are still running back, I mean, like a guy like Enobi has been doing back to back in the event arena for a while, and I feel like, man, we might criticize them so that they grow, but I still respect them. It's not easy.
I respect what they do. So to you guys watching, okay? Ambassador don't swear. Where Aka?
My brother, you call it as you want. I don't swear. When you see your pocket start getting dry, you have to think about your own personal survival. We'll come back to entertainment later on. I will reinvest, but I have to think twice.
So okay. To everybody watching, like the video, right? If you're watching us right now, just like the video. If you like the show, like the video so YouTube can recommend it to so many guys in your geographical area, in your region. When you like the video, you recommend it in guys in your region. So like, you don't necessarily have to share, just like. And so, to you guys, and
I can't you just said again, true ambassador, they shouldn't mind what he's saying. He's doing his own job while they do theirs. Aka Frederick, once beaten, twice shy. Ambassador don't swap.
So to you guys listening,
you like making a t-shirt, Ambassador don't swap away.
I'm looking for a research department. I want to build a research department in Cameroon. Like research guys, I need a research team. The kind of research team I had when I started, like when I was deep into YouTube, that I always get the information first. I'm looking to assemble the research department. I want to start going at these guys again. It's like the industry have gone soft. You know, though I always give good news. It's not like I always give bad news.
Out some word there.
I give good news.
No, but it's just having the detailed news and on time.
Exactly, that's what I want. I need a research department. I pay your
that
salary
kind of TMZ
and you provide
kind of shit that you're like, even before you knew you passed somewhere, TMZ is reporting that you passed that route.
Exactly, I need that kind of I had it before, but as time moved on, we both went to separate things and lost contact and all these things. So for you guys watching, if you can assist me to create such a department in Cameroon,
are willing to be dedicated to things that much.
No, it's not paparazzi. I don't want paparazzi. That's not what I'm talking about.
Not paparazzi. I mean that kind of having the back end information.
Exactly. I had it. I always had it. So many guys were like, how you do know that really talk so
is like
tell me.
Right now, I'm personally recruiting. And you can barely have people. So I have, like, for the ECOS thing we are working on, I've put out a call to university students. It's not any secret. We're like salespeople.
Daniel, what's up?
60K a month. Just do promo stuff. And most youths come, they see the money, 60K, and they want to do it. We want to tell them, like, this is how regularly I want you to do, like, the promo thing for the app and stuff. And it's too difficult. Most people don't want to do that. I'm like, you just felt like you just come and get money, but you don't want to sit down and then work on something.
Yeah.
Everything. I'm even building these YouTube channels. You talk to somebody and like, you need to pay me, and I'm like, who is paying us to be on that YouTube? Do you think anybody, how much can they pay me to be on this thing?
Yeah, to be on this thing.
But I know that with time, it's going to build something and it will become something.
A brand.
But immediately I tell you, like, there's something on YouTube, I'm like, how much will you pay me? Who pay me for this? And I'm like, who is paying me? Even when you pay people like this particular one I'm talking about for the ECOS thing, we are paying people, but they're like, I don't know, it's difficult. You just stand and be doing promotion. I'm like, something has to be difficult for somebody to pay you. Why do you think somebody will pay you for you something which is not difficult?
Yeah, true.
Story for another day. We keep on the streets, we keep pushing.
But when it comes to employing people who actually can handle some tasks, I don't face difficulties in that direction, but it's just the research part of it that I haven't had. Because
okay, maybe I'll even just send you the flyer which I'm trying to recruit people. Maybe
because for the Molitown now, Molitown is posting 24/7 in all the languages in Cameroon. Like I have admins on all the platforms, and I see the impressions rising, the pages are growing, and all these things, the activity, like they actually know what they're doing. Like it's kind of impressive. And at least it gives me room to think, and that's why in the research department I can actually dive back into creating content on the fly. Like I called it, when I used to do it, I called it fast food videos, fast food news. That's why I always have it first, because once I post it, everybody will take it. Onto blogs, like there was Kamai Vibe and 237 Showbiz. Onto 237 Showbiz was posting when I post, like they'll be like, Molitown has said that, or Molitown, like I was like, where they get news from.
Yeah, it's a source of reference.
Yeah, so even when I ask a question though, it's like Molitown to ask and say. So for now, I've just been low-key. We'll be starting back, like the channel, the speed at which the channel started growing back at, like from the stats I'm getting now. Yeah, it's impressive. It's like I need to maintain the momentum.
Yeah.
Frederick said youths nowadays are like research or research department doesn't mean yeah. But also another plug, the birth of 237 will be coming back in 2022 in a new fashion. Like the way this series will be done this time will be like the old me mixed with the new me and some gems. Like you guys, do you guys watch documentaries on Netflix? That's how it's going to be, like a Netflix documentary.
Like those kind of hip hop series kind of thing.
Not necessarily, but when you watch the first episode, you'll be like,
I mean, like, have you watched those hip hop things where they're interviewing the old rappers that talking about
I've seen it.
Kind of
I've seen hip hop evolution, hip hop this. I've seen all those things on Netflix.
Yeah.
I'm like, the one I'm currently watching now is the movies that made us. The movies that made us, like the classic movies in those days that we still watch till today. That when we want to talk, we reference them. Films like Die Hard.
It's on Netflix.
Yeah, films like Die Hard. Like till today, we still talk about Die Hard. Yeah, it's on Netflix. We talk about Jurassic Park. You see, they are remaking Jurassic Park now over and over again because the first one was classic and all these things. So that's the birth of 237. I was just in. There's something Ross said that, I don't know, every time I get into the shower and I come back out, it's like I left the old me in that shower and the new me came out. Like when you're in the shower taking your bath, your mind works. That's when you get some great ideas and you piece together so many things, like you can actually draw a plan. That's how I got the script for my first episode.
You just had a good bath. You left the dirty you to a clean you.
Yes, no, that's how I drafted and had the script for the first episode. You guys will like it.
Alright.
I'm about
Maybe let's jump to the last thing.
Yeah, let's jump to the last thing.
Okay. So the last thing, as usual, like Chakara TV is more of an African kind of vibe. Yep. The last thing is more of Nigerian side, but it's related to Cameroon though. So there is this show that took place on the 25th. I think it's under the Tony Elumelu Foundation, where he organized an event and then invited Burna Boy, Wizkid, and Davido. And I think they said since 2017 or so, Davido and Wizkid have not been on the same stage. And there's been this Cold War kind of feeling, which they have not been on the same stage, but we don't feel like it's a coincidence that they have not been on the same stage, because such A-list acts in Nigeria, for it to be possible that there's no, but Burna Boy and Wizkid have been seen on the same stage, but that we don't know is true. So for it to be possible that there has been no occasion where these two come to on the same stage is not a real coincidence. So we feel like intentionally they don't want to be on the same stage. So when this happens,
I don't feel like that thing has been intentional. It may be, but I don't feel like that, because they have songs together, but they haven't performed together.
Exactly.
But I just feel like it's organization problems and all these things. If somebody could have or can afford the two of them, the person to do it.
But you know, most of some of these events, like when Wizkid does his O2 thing, Burna is there. When Burna does his Wizkid is there. It's more of like trade by barter. If I'm at your show, you are going to be at my show.
But that's
it's a different thing from when MTN organizes a show and has to pay everybody.
That's why I say if you can afford them, why not? They haven't been on those shows because these guys, the organizers, can't afford them together.
Personally, they might not want to be together, because if personally they wanted to be together, would have been seeing Davido on Wizkid's own shows and Wizkid on Davido's own shows. So personally, they might not want to be together. That's why it does not happen on their shows, which they are behind. But now it takes a certain amount of money to be able to call both of them, like, I'll pay your own check, come and see.
But Davido and Wizkid have been on the same stage before, right?
That means
that Davido was performing and Wizkid, and they brought Wizkid. Yeah, and he brought Wizkid up. It wasn't Wizkid's show.
2017.
Yeah, it wasn't Wizkid's show. And Wizkid was.
So that's what I'm saying.
It's the same thing. It may be like this guy could be here and this guy is here.
Davido then.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Wizkid then and the Davido then, they have grown a lot more after that. They actually, so I feel like money-wise, in a year they might make 5 times what they were making those years back. Their fame has actually blown up, and it makes more sense for them to collaborate now. But for some reason, we have not been seeing them on the same stage. There has been this behind the scene talking of there is beef between the two.
We always read a lot into most of these things. To be honest, from where I've seen and from the way I've seen most of these things, we always read a lot. In fact, fans always read a lot into so many things, and it ends up sometimes creating actual conflict when there were no conflicts before.
Exactly.
So,
exactly.
What I'm saying, what I want to say is,
when the fans read a lot and it creates the actual conflict, then there is the conflict.
But right now, I don't think there's a conflict, because based on an artist scheduling or his organization or their program, their schedule, right? Burna can be in UK, Burna can be in the USA or in UK, Wizkid can be in this city or in this place. They have shows, they have things which they have to fulfill. Burna can be coming back to Nigeria to perform while Wizkid is in the UK. Burna can be going to the UK to perform while Wizkid has something in Nigeria or in the USA, like all these things. Sometimes it's just their scheduling. They don't have the same shows like that the two of them can perform at, or they cannot be in the same geographical area at the same time. Because if they're in the same geographical area at the same time, there's no reason why.
Maybe, but I'm tilting towards this because Davido did an interview on Ibuka, and he clearly said that they used to be cool. They used to hang around with each other, but now people are giving each other cold shoulder. So if you watch the interview, you get the impression like there is no open warfare, but everybody's just like, you be your own. It's like, why are they hating on me? So almost
it's like not hating. It's just like
boy are ganging up against him, Davido.
It's not hating.
They have the
it's
feeling
just
like because his father is rich, he's too arrogant, he's too loud.
We are just reading too much into all these things. So
that's what I'm saying. That if it's not me as a fan reading things. It's of an interview he did with Ibuka. So just go and watch Davido on Ibuka's show. You'll see what he's saying. So this is Davido saying it. So that just went to confirm now some of the suspicions fans were having.
He may be misreading Whiskey, or he may be just be like Whiskey doesn't pay him any mind, or maybe he thinks too much of that, but Whiskey doesn't think too much of it. We don't know.
Very possible. But that's the way Davido is feeling, who is like first-hand the person experiencing it. Then that's what the relationship is. That's how Davido is feeling, and that's how the relationship is. So, but anyway, back to what I was saying. When Tony Elumelu did that, and all of them sang, blogs were talking about it. Finally, these guys on the same stage, and it just got me thinking, like, maybe that's also one of the things we need in Cameroon. All these so-called beefs. If someone has, so I just wrote it down, or no, I not write it, but I just started talking to myself, like, maybe that should be my 2022, or at least my 2025 goal, to have the kind of money that I can make two beefing artists be on the same stage. Because for Tony Elumelu to bring these guys, it means he had serious bad. So that's a personal goal now. Like I have that kind of money where I can put these guys on the same stage or put them on the same song. Then at times it's not even the money, it's just the respect they have for your money. You will not necessarily give them the money, but just what they know you can pull and the leverage you have on them when you call them, they come. Like these same guys, like 2 days ago to P Square, they did their own show and they thanked the same guy. They said Tony Elumelu was behind their reconciliation. So the guy you don't see him too much on entertainment things, but he has a hand. He's always, because he has a UBA bank thing, and a lot of those artists have had endorsements from UBA bank. So I'm sure they have a certain level of respect for his bag. You know, this man can't be heavy bag and make things happen. So when he calls, they come. So we need those kind of guys in the industry. These heavy names, but too bad. They only come to talk to the girls, but they don't come to fix the industry. I always have to conclude with something crazy. That's my thought.
I hope so when I can pay, no be so the long me or the home if a bit and say I can't take some manga.
You are a bush faller. Bush fallers are bush fallers. Until proven otherwise, they assume the worst.
Okay.
When Yaoundé, they should say that quand les bengi sont là, tous vos bons garçons are loués. So it's like you have to give
your girls have a rent.
It's like you have your room. When the bengis come, you give it for rent.
Yes. All your girls are for rent.
You voluntarily give it, if not, you'll be taken. So better just give it for rent. Enjoy your Christmas and come back. Quand les bengi sont là, vos garçons.
Okay, so thank everybody for tuning in. We've gone today for almost 2 hours, like 1 hour 30 minutes. So thank everybody for tuning in. Everybody who contributed. Like, let me do the ceremonial roll call, like we always do it. Okay, let's go right from the beginning. We had Schneider. Yeah, that's Schneider. Schneider, thank you for tuning in. Nelson, thank you for tuning in. We have Emmanuel, thank you for tuning in. Nelson again. Aka, thank you for tuning in and contributing. Thank you for your contributions. You actually made it a 3-way conversation or 4-way conversation, because 3-way because it's us and you guys. That's a 2-way. Let me just group it like that. So thank you guys for contributing. What's his name? Mars. Is it Mars or is it because the second one is like a German name. I believe he came. Okay, that guy is a spammer. He spammed the name of his something. So, fuck you. You have somebody else again. You have. Yeah, I think that's it. Aka, yeah. Thank everybody who tuned in today. Thank everybody who watched. Thank you. Steadily become the kind of person I have faith in. Yeah, I don't like doing it publicly like that. I just like to do it, and the results, the results. You guys see the results, but you don't know how it happened or why it's happening like that unless I say, okay, yeah, we actually did this and this and this to make that happen like that. So that's how I like to work. That's why I'm telling the ambassador, if we have to organize something, we'll not do something explosive like what most guys try to make it explosive. We'll make it small but very lucrative. That's how I like to work. I chase money and not the attention that comes with the events that brings the money. That's how I work. But yeah, I'll see what I can do with that. And if in case I happen to do it, you guys don't know that I was the one who did it. You may know 3 years after, or 4 years, or some years after that. So thank you everybody who tuned in. This was another rendition of Contrast Podcast. Since it's on Chakra TV, the ambassador will be the one to take us out.
Okay, so in my entire voice, please subscribe, share, like, comment. If you like what you saw today, please ask your friends to join the Contrast family. Usually there is a link which it's shared in the comment section, or we might put it in later on, where you could join the WhatsApp group and you could talk about the various things in the industry. We could pick up ideas from there and then bring it over to the discussions out here. And as usual, what I usually say is, this is to spark up the thought. We might say certain things here with humor. When it's all said and done, try to pick out the sense in it. Have these same conversations in. I just left Moliko and I saw some guys in a palm wine setting kind of place, having entertainment-related discussions about scammers and their money they put in the industry.
I need palm wine very early. As you don't just talk that now, so my mom does that. I can't remember the last time I drank that thing.
I feel like all of these conversations should be taken and should be had in our various small settings, in our bars, in our veteran clubs, in our houses. That's what's going to enlighten the people. Like one of the, I think it's Aka who said it, that the role which the fans have to play is just those liking, sharing, talking about it, getting enlightened about these things. There's not much they really can do. Fans have their own things they're doing in their lives. But as a fan and as a user, you should just use responsibly. That when it comes to music, responsibly by like trying to pay the artist for his art, sharing it properly, doing PR for him, citing him whenever you use his songs, be it at your wedding, in the videos or whatever you're doing. So all of those things, those small blocks help to build the industry too. While the main Jackie Chans of the industry are fighting the main fights. You can just be doing the Wakapa small roles. How my analogy makes sense. Yeah. That was it from your boy Ambassador.
Yeah, so Aka said, so I will know. I know your signature on someone. You don't, I don't think you do. Or maybe you do. The ambassador, you know my signature on anybody? Or on any events or any project? Nobody.
I know where to dig it up to know if you were involved in. If I'm seeing it from the face value, I cannot tell.
Okay.
Yeah, but I know that if I talk to these 3 people, if the leader was involved, I should get some hints of that.
Okay. But
from the
events,
face value,
right?
I cannot tell. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
But sometimes I tell them to keep my name out of it and keep my pocket full.
Depending on how I talk to them, I can know those things.
Okay, you won't ask them directly. This is another rendition of Contract Podcast.
Not at all.
And we out. The ambassador,